Russia may have found a game-changing weapon, a simple yet devastating force that Ukraine struggles to counter. What is this formidable weapon? The not-so-new glide bombs, now upgraded with wings and basic satellite guidance. These straightforward yet lethal bombs are wreaking havoc on Ukrainian positions, contributing to Russian advances like the fall of Avdiivka. President Zelensky reported that 3,000 of these bombs were dropped in March alone. Their deployment is increasing, and the response to this threat remains uncertain. But what makes these bombs so effective, and why did we say that they are not so new? The concept of the glide bomb dates back to World War II, when both the Allied and Axis powers sought to improve the accuracy and range of their aerial bombs. The first operational glide bomb, known as the Fritz X, was developed by the German Luftwaffe. This radio-guided bomb could glide to its target, significantly enhancing the precision of attacks against naval vessels and fortified positions. Although the Fritz X was not decisive for the Nazis, the idea of glide bombs persisted. After the war, development continued at a slower pace, with both the United States and the Soviet Union experimenting with various designs. Advancements in GPS and satellite technology in the late 20th and early 21st centuries revitalized interest in guided bombs. The United States developed the Joint Direct Attack Munition, JDAM, which converted unguided bombs into precision-guided munitions using a simple and cost-effective guidance kit. This system became a cornerstone of modern air warfare and has been used in numerous conflicts, including the Afghan War, Iraq War, Libya, Syria, and by the Israeli Defense Forces against Hamas in Gaza. Observing the success of the JDAM, Russia began developing its own guided bomb systems. In the recent conflict in Ukraine, Russia introduced modernized versions of Soviet-era bombs. The development began with the FAB M54 series introduced in 1954, designed for internal carriage by heavy bombers. A low-drag M62 version followed in 1962, intended for external hardpoint carriage by fighter bombers. Just a quick moment before we unveil the rest. If you're new here, consider subscribing to this channel. Stay up to date and never miss out on the latest insights. And now, let's go on. Initially, these bombs were dumb, meaning they were unguided and designed to be dropped from bombers directly onto targets below. But now these bombs are no longer dumb. Russia has taken these old Soviet bombs and equipped them with a Universal Planning and Correction Module, or UMPK. This module includes a GPS tracker, which allows the bombs to hit targets the bomber pilot cannot see. It also has fins on the tail for steering and stabilization, and two pop-out wings that enable the bomb to glide for miles before reaching its target and exploding. Evidence of this came in March 2023, when Russian Su-35s launched several FAB 500 M62 bombs. The wreckage showed they had been fitted with the UMPK system. These bombs can carry up to 300 kilograms of explosives with a destructive radius of 250 meters. Thanks to the UMPK navigation system, they have a range of about 70 kilometers. Although not as accurate as guided missiles or artillery, these bombs are powerful enough to demolish multi-story buildings, bridges, and reinforced bunkers. Their extended range allows Russian pilots to remain outside Ukrainian airspace during bombing runs, reducing the risk of being shot down. This ability to operate beyond the reach of most anti-aircraft missile systems provides a significant advantage on the battlefield. In addition to the FAB 500, Russia is using a more powerful version in Ukraine, the FAB 1500 M54. This bomb carries 675 kilograms of explosives, has a destructive radius of 500 meters, and can destroy underground bunkers up to 25 meters deep. Designed for larger and more fortified targets, the FAB 1500 M54 can cause extensive damage to urban and industrial structures. In March 2023, the Russian Defense Ministry announced an increase in the production of FAB 500 and FAB 1500 bombs. They also began mass production of the FAB 3000, an even more destructive bomb. This escalation in production highlights the strategic importance Russia places on these powerful weapons. So far, the use of glide bombs has proven to be an effective strategy for Russia. These bombs are launched from high altitudes and at high speeds, allowing Russian forces to target Ukrainian positions effectively without needing to gain air superiority. This method leverages Russia's vast stockpile of older, inexpensive bombs by enhancing them with modern guidance systems. Glide bombs have significantly impacted Ukraine's defensive strategies. According to military experts, defending against glide bombs is challenging. Intercepting them mid-flight is impractical due to their high quantity, as it would quickly deplete available air defense ammunition. Justin Bronk, a senior research fellow at the Royal United Services Institute, notes that Russia has the capacity to produce more glide bomb kits than Ukraine has to resupply its surface-to-air missile systems. Thus, shooting them down directly isn't a sustainable strategy. Ukraine has had some success ambushing Russian high-level glide bomb flights with Patriot missile systems near the front lines. However, this is risky because of the possibility of being spotted by Russian drones and hit with ballistic missiles. Additionally, using these systems for such interceptions diverts scarce assets needed to protect cities and infrastructure. Alternative strategies include targeting Russian aircraft on the ground with UAVs or special forces, which is difficult, and using electronic warfare to jam GPS and GLONASS signals, thereby degrading the bomb's accuracy. This approach could help counter not only glide bombs but other guided munitions as well. The increasing use of glide bombs is part of Russia's strategy to overwhelm Ukrainian air defenses, which are already strained. Since the full-scale invasion began in February 2022, Ukraine initially relied on Soviet-era systems like the S-300 and Buk. Due to high usage rates, these systems were projected to run out of interceptors by May 2023. To support Ukraine, the US and its allies have supplied various Western air defense systems, including the Franken-SAM and the UK's modified MBDA Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile. The increased use of glide bombs and reduced missile engagements reflect the scarcity of air defense weapons in Ukraine, exacerbated by delays in European aid and US military support. This attritional air war increasingly favors Russia unless adequate support from the US and allies continues to bolster Ukraine's defenses. Without sufficient support, Ukraine's ability to counter Russian air threats and impose costs on the Russian aerospace forces remains jeopardized, affecting the overall outcome of the war.